Hi there, folks. Simmon here. Welcome back to the 2023 Trans-AtlanTak Tournament. This is Old World versus New World, and so far we've seen quite a few of these games, and most recently we saw Climace versus Mayor Gills, and Mayor Gills came out on top after an absolutely nail-biter of a game, back and forth, multiple times, people missing Tinue, and just crazy, crazy wild stuff. But that means that currently the scores for Old World and New World, it is 3 for Old World, 7 for New World, meaning that New World has officially won since they can't get enough points to catch up to that. 7 points was the cutoff since there are 13 matches total. So New World has won. However, we're still going to play the rest of these games. I mean, we want to see how these players do. They want to play their games. They want to see how they measure up and see if they can earn a little bit more points for their region. So, of course, we're going to let them do that. And these games are played on a 6x6 board with a 15-minute timer with a 15-second increment, meaning they get 15 seconds added to their clock after every turn. And also on turn 35, they get 15 minutes extra if they do get to that point. So, we're looking at phase-spaced for the Old World and NameOfStone for the New World. And I believe phase space is from the UK, NameOfStone is from the USA. And so we are, I believe we're good to go, ready to jump right into this one-game match to see who comes out on top and who can earn a point for their team. This is seed number 8. Seed number 8. And again, the seeds don't really mean too much since the captains kind of finagled with who's going where in order to try and get an advantage over their opponents. So, without any further ado whatsoever, let's jump right into this 2023 Trans-AtlanTak Tournament match between phase-spaced and NameOfStone. All right, here we see A1 dropped. Are we going to see opposite corners? No, adjacent corners here. NameOfStone playing the adjacent corners opening. Phase-spaced goes for the center control, not going for that Knights opening we see so often. Center control continuing for that mirrored opening, it looks like. Yep, continuing that mirrored opening. When will the deviation be where black places that capstone over probably on E3 or E4? I'm assuming it's going to drop at E3 after white plays down flat at D2. No, it plays the flat up at D6, interestingly. Now the capstone drops at E3, and white brings that flat over at C6 to switch gears, go for the horizontal, and cut off black's play for the vertical. However, black is content to go ahead and go for this horizontal play, knowing that he's got that C5 flat to come up and interrupt and kind of go for that momentum shift. However, does play a defensive move at A6. Now, while I say it is defensive, it's also offensive. It can go for that vertical line at the same time as it is going for that blocking that horizontal. And so black shifts gears, go ahead and plays it A3. Deciding to go for that horizontal line. This is now a better position for white than if black had not played that A6, because it forced white to kind of build around there. So now black's flat at C5 coming up onto C6 just gets replaced by another flat at C5 and doesn't do anything to shift that momentum. So the A6 might have actually hurt black here in an interesting turn of events, where dropping that flat to block actually may have worsened his position. Now, again, neither player has attack threat at this moment. Also, it's move 9, and phase-spaced has yet to play a capstone. No capstone yet from white. I don't think he's going to try and murk his opponent, murk being a very old term in the TAK community of trying to win a game without using your capstone. That was back from 2016, 2017, and has not really been used since. So, I'm just showing my TAK age here, is basically what I'm doing. We get the TAK threat from white and then an immediate wall. I think this just results again in another flat placement to renew that threat. Black comes up with c5. White likely... Now, I love a capstone placement here at c5. That's essentially the best placement, I think, for a capstone that you could hope for. It blocks Black's vertical threat. It makes your horizontal threat. It can't be recaptured. It is in the perfect spot, and he instead drops a flat there. Drops the flat at c5, which is fine. It's just not nearly as strong as if you dropped a capstone there. And maybe White is hoping to drop a capstone there at e4 or something. Yeah, looks like we've got a guest in the chat saying they were really surprised they didn't see a capstone right there at c5. Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that. Oh, now this is going to be bad. White could potentially even play a capstone here at f4. Oh, no, they can't because they have to stop that road. They could drop a wall there. They could drop a flat there. Wall or a flat at e3 or a capstone. Those are the only moves that White can make here in order to stop this threat. Is wall, flat, or capstone at e3. Got to be something dropped at e3, basically. A flat, I feel like, is a very bad move because it can just be countered fairly easily. That is not something you want to happen. Yeah, I think a wall or a capstone is the best play here at e3. I think that he's going to probably play the wall there because he's clearly reserving his capstone for some other purpose. So the wall is played. Black likely, again, going to play at e4, try and make that connection over at f4 before bringing that capstone up for that threat, or bringing that c4 flat over onto d4. So White's response here, will we see a capstone at f4? Will we see a flat at f4? What are we going to see here? Some sort of tak threat, I'm sure. I don't think we'd see d4 right. That doesn't seem like a good move at all. It does make a tak threat, but it doesn't seem like a good move. And again, we'll take a look at the time. These guys are playing lightning fast. Phase Spaced is at the lower of the time end, and he's still above 15 minutes on the clock, which is their start time. So they're both playing well under that 15-second average turn time. Well, now Phase Spaced isn't. But NameOfStone at 16 and a half minutes. Black is playing so fast that he's gained a minute and a half over these 14 turns. And I say that it has been just, 6 minutes and they're already 14 turns in? After a lot of the games we've seen in this tournament, that is lightning quick. Lightning quick. So FaZe taking his time to make this move here does eventually decide on the flat at f4. Is making a tak threat here in a couple of ways. Bringing that f4 flat upwards, bringing the e5 flat down, bringing the d4 flat to the right. Any of those would be a tak threat. So Black's got to stop that. I imagine there's going to be a capture with c4 plus to interrupt that. If c4 plus happens, then I imagine we're going to see that capstone drop at c4. Wouldn't renew the threat, but it would threaten that. Could also bring up f3 onto f4. That would cut off the threat and also make Black a tak threat. But it would allow that wall to come upwards, maybe do something else. I'm not sure exactly what could be the play there. But yeah, f3 plus seems like a totally fine move to cut that off and also make your own threat. NameOfStone finally taking some time in this match, has taken so far a minute on this move, which is far and away the most time he's taken on any move so far. Deciding to sort of take a hint from the pace that FaZe Spaced set on this previous move, knowing that this is a crucial point where things can really start to unravel here. Black brings the capstone up, misses the threat entirely. Now White's able to take f4 plus and win with a road. Completely missed that threat there. I think he was just focused on being able to capture onto e4 to make that road, and just missed the f4 plus completely, which is the more straight of the roads, more direct road, because it's a direct straight line. But assuming face space sees it, I'm not sure that, I mean, he hasn't made the move yet. Maybe they're just talking about it, because that's also a thing that happens a lot. But I'm just going to assume that face space saw it. So congratulations to face space. There it is. Congratulations to face space for winning this game and putting a point up on the board for Old World. That takes Old World to 4 points total, 7-4. So not getting completely shut out. It's been a pretty solid tournament so far, though the New World has gotten off to quite a big lead from the very beginning. Just really started to crush it after Allion won that first game. Then after that, it was sort of all downhill from there almost. But really well played to both players. Oh, and I believe, yeah, Face-Spaced won that game without using a capstone. So he did mark his opponent there. But that is all for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description below for all things TAK, especially the TAK Discord server, which is where you can find all sorts of TAK resources like strategy guides and people to play with, whether that be right here through playtak.com or through the Discord server itself playing asynchronously. You can play just one move a day if you want to. So lots of great people to play with and talk with, and lots of great resources there, so check that out. And until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.